Welcome to Legit Episode 1 on how to make the Yellow Rabbit's head. Now, first off, if you want to get notified for when the next episode comes out, I would like for you to subscribe and press the bell. And if you want more people to see this because you find this very helpful, go press like. Now, what tools do we really need? Generically, a lot of hot glue. A lot of hot glue, like I'm saying. You better buy like this big pack of like 48 pieces for like $20 and you'll be set out fine. Like, I'm legit scared that I don't have enough to make the head base. Even though the toaster piece is more the one that consumes a lot of hot glue. Then, one of these cutters, and why I prefer them? Simply because these get dull very easily, mostly with like foam since you have to cut a lot. And these, if they get ever dull or like just don't want to cut anymore, I bought myself lots of replacement knives. Like, they are super sharp and it's suggestible, but like I said, super sharp and dangerous. You're also going to need some kind of tool to mark, so I just got this simple marker that's permanent, of course, not a whiteboard one, so I can mark down things such as on the foams. So if you are more of a younger audience who wants to try this, like, have please parental supervision on this. Now, materials, what do you need? Now, quick tutorial on foam theory. I'm using two different kinds of foams. If you watched my previous video on this stuff, you would already know, but I use for the inside, the first cylinder, a way more softer foam, not so dense. And then for the outside, a really dense foam, like you're feeling like EVA rubbery. Because first off, you can shave this really good into, the head size and everything around and stuff. I should also mention, for me, I already have this withered version, so I'm gonna make the normal one. But if you want to have the withered version, I'm going to have a separate video on that. That's gonna be linked at the end, of course, where I can simply tell you how I made it to be more dirty or how I made the cuts. Now, for the first cylinder, what you want to do is you take yourself some good big foam piece, and like I said in many videos before, you just wrap it around your head. Now, I'm scared that this is not enough, because this is already the last pieces I have. This is a new roll of the better foam, and I also have another roll. So with the other foam, I'm quite stacked, but not anymore with the not so thick foam. So like I said, you will have to wrap this around your head, and best is without some weird rabbit mask. So put this off, do it, and see you after that. So now around there I have marked it, and I will just line more up. So you don't just cut this. Don't need that. And somewhat, it's not too important. Well, it is. Let me check. So how you measure this height? It's basically from this all the way to the middle of your head. Of course, the length is dependent on roundness, but better like make it 1 inch bigger because you don't want to crush your head all the time. It's painful. Then the next part would be the zigzag. That is dependent on the middle on your head to somewhat over here, like the end of the curving of your head, which for me ended up being around there. So Yeah. And then for the triangles, the more you have to make, the harder it is to glue, but then again, rounder it is. So it's completely dependent on you how many zigzags, like how close you make them. I would of course suggest you the smaller you make them, the better it is, but then the more you have to glue. So I would just blindly do this. As you can see, these triangles. Then you'll have to cut them all out. Okay, put them to the side. So now you should have this weird ass shape. Then I'll now glue this here together. Now I'm gonna do a little cheating. Cheating in what way? Because I'm gonna take these clamps to basically clamp this fur together, because I used to have just doing it the classic way of just holding it. Yeah, it's bad. Like, mostly I would suggest you guys to make it, have like a video running, like some stream. Like, I like to watch Dog, quite fun. Make sure you have hot glue in there. Good old smell of hot glue and foam. Something original, can't forget. You can also, of course, take some weight, such as for me, this battery. Put it on top and leave it waiting and drying over there. The next thing we could start making is your good old weird nose cone, or snout, or yeah, snout. We'll be now preparing the snout. Okay, I remember. So originally I had a foam cube and I just perfectly shaped it to the size. Now that's kind of unethical and you have lots of foam rests. So you take your good, more denser foam. Now the snout length, 17 centimeters. I'm gonna put it down here. 17. How about your height? About what? 9 centimeters high. Square? There's no measuring band. There it is. And for the thickness, 1/2 inch, which is perfectly 2 of these little foam layers. Means I'll just make 2 of these squares. 2 of these squares each 7 by what? 3.6 inches. And of course the thickness is going to be 1 inch. It's 1 inch foam. Okay. Now you should have your snout block. Would say, but thunder, it's not bent. Yeah. You'll do that afterwards. So it's on the shape of the head, you know? But we can only glue this together afterwards. So we'll leave these on the side. Oh, that's why I wouldn't suggest this method. It glues onto these, makes them all dirty. You should have this shape now. And now you're gonna take these all and glue this all together, creating the beloved shape. Now, looking at this, I would make these a bit shorter. Yeah, that will work. Then glue that. See, I pinched it. There we go. Should be like that. But like I said, you can also with the hand just hold it together. But then again, that's gonna take a while. What's that? Clean up a little. Be or not be, or Cosplay or non-cosplay? That is the question. It's a question of fun, I would say, rather. Ugh, that's still gluing. I have to say this is probably the worst part, gluing the triangles. This takes forever. This is the point of time where I just press this in here and hold it in the shape I want it. Cone shape, I'm talking of. Hello. If you watch me, I put like lots of hot glue in this tip piece and I've closed it up. See, there's lots of hot glue in there. And I'm holding this shut. Okay. Boom. Your first cylinder. Doesn't need to be perfect by any means. Just gotta work. And if you can always push this down, it looks fine. Now, you'll have to do this whole thing again. So, it's gonna be way bigger than before. This will cover the outside. Now, for the height, I can just measure it. And then the bottom at 34 centimeters. Okay. This is always so satisfying. Now I'm going to like around right here, like there. Start to make the triangles, and this time I'm going to make them fat. For the outer one. Okay, those aside for later, because who knows, you might need them. Now if you do one of these, just gonna check if it works. Yeah. They're not sharp enough. That's fine, I can fix it. So you just saw. The longer you make the triangles, the tippier it's getting. And the smaller you make, the more squared it gets. Yeah, there we go. We glue this together, as always. Update. I have 2 of these now. And if you were following this tutorial, you should have that too. And this is like bigger, so this one fits inside. Which I'm gonna test right now. First off, I'm gonna test if this fits on my head.
Yeah, it fits on my head.
This goes in here. Now we have this bigger shape. It's basically the same shape as my head. Somewhat. Not perfect, because you're gonna have to add some straps to give it more head shape. More circularness.
Yeah, this fits. This is fine.
Yeah, this works. So, That's the first part of the tutorial where you have created these two phone heads and the beginnings of the snout. So the bloopers will be on my Patreon. The next video should be right there, if it's released yet. If not, you will have to wait a little bit. And good luck with your cosplay.